You hit send, then you immediately reread the message. You check it 3, 4, or 5 times, scanning for a typo, a weird tone, or a phrase that might be misunderstood. You're trying to gain a sense of retrospective control over a social situation that is now entirely out of your hands. This is the spotlight effect. It is a cognitive bias where we believe we are being noticed, judged, and evaluated by others much more than we actually are. In this moment, your anxiety is acting like a glaring beam, illuminating every perceived flaw. We process thousands of thoughts every day, but when this bias takes over, your brain begins to spin like a hamster on a wheel. These repetitive loops don't just stay in your head, they trigger your body's physical fight or flight response. To break that cycle, we're going to walk through a 3-step self-talk reset routine. In 5 minutes, you will have a concrete method to intercept these loops and replace your inner critic with an inner coach. You only need 2 tools to master this: the timer on your smartphone and a specific low-stakes anxiety trigger, like a recent text or email, to practice on right now. Regaining control over this internal narrative is the difference between letting anxiety dictate your physical reality versus walking into a room with a clear head. Step 1 is to catch and name. The moment you recognize the mental chatter starting to spin, you must overtly identify the feeling that is happening. During a spiral, we often use I am statements. We tell ourselves, I'm freaking out, or I'm an awkward mess. This traps your identity inside the emotion. The fix is to relabel the feeling from the perspective of an external observer. Instead of saying, I'm freaking out, you state, I am noticing anxiety, or this is a shame wave. This specific phrasing creates immediate psychological distance. It shifts your role from a victim drowning in a storm to a neutral observer watching it happen from the shore. Recognizing the emotion without adopting it as a permanent identity is the first step to wresting control back from your nervous system. A stress response naturally crests and falls within 90 seconds. Step 2 is to ride that wave. Set a 90-second timer and focus on your physical sensations. If you feed the story by mentally arguing, the stress wave spikes back up, resetting your clock. To prevent this, rely entirely on physical grounding. Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, feel your feet on the ground. You are letting the chemistry metabolize. The goal is not to bury the emotion. You are safely processing the physical stress chemicals so your brain can return to logical thinking. Now that your nervous system is regulated, we move to step 3, the counter pivot. This is where you actively interrogate and replace the negative thoughts. If you are mid-conversation and cannot process the emotion, mentally compartmentalize. Visualize putting the anxiety in a secure box on a shelf to handle later. When you have time, interrogate the thought by asking, would I say this to a friend? If a friend made a mistake, you wouldn't criticize them, you would provide support. Be careful not to force toxic positivity. Trying to jump from I'm a failure to I am perfect will fail. Instead, focus on realistic self-compassion. This reframe shifts you from demanding perfection to viewing mistakes as data. You shift from the inner critic's I'm a failure to the coach saying, I am giving myself permission to be imperfect. Mistakes mean I'm growing. By choosing the coach narrative, you keep the problem isolated. You prevent a temporary mistake from being interpreted as a permanent character flaw. You have now completed the routine. You successfully intercepted a negative spiral and processed the physical stress without suppressing your feelings. To understand why this routine takes effort, we have to look at the origins of our inner voice. This diagram illustrates that negative self-talk is often a habit learned in early environments, specifically those marked by high strictness or a lack of parental responsiveness. Because these patterns were learned, they can be unlearned, but it requires active practice. Utilizing this new framework breaks the self-fulfilling prophecy of anxiety. It allows you to lock your phone or enter a room with a regulated nervous system. Your final assignment is to practice this week. Don't wait for a crisis. Use the 90-second routine on low-level triggers, like traffic frustration or minor social awkwardness. Low-stakes practice builds automatic muscle memory. This ensures that your inner coach is always ready to take the wheel when high-stakes moments arrive.